I hated my life. I was miles away from where I wanted to be, trapped in a routine that made me sick. Every morning, I would wake up way too early to go somewhere I didn't want to go, to see people I didn't want to see, to learn things I didn't want to learn. All of that to chase a future I didn't even fucking want. School was robbing me of my time, and I was fed up. I remember coming home after another meaningless day, looking my mom dead in the eyes and telling her, "Mom, they're taking away the most precious thing that I had, my lifetime." At that time, I hated everything about my life. I just wanted one thing, to escape this reality. And to be honest, I had many opportunities to escape this and to build a better future for myself. Like, I had a lot of free time, 4 hours of free time every night, 15 hours per day on weekends, enough time to build a better life for myself. But I was such a useless piece of shit that I didn't even use the time I did have to change anything. Instead, I wasted it. Spent hours on TikTok, YouTube, Netflix, watching other people get successful, while I stayed exactly the same. I was sprinting toward a future I wanted to avoid at all costs. I had ambition. I wanted more, but I wasn't doing shit, and I hated myself for it. I was far from where I wanted to be, but even worse, I was far from who I wanted to be. So I found a solution. I decided to kill myself. That was the only option. I could no longer accept this fate. I could no longer be that obedient guy who mindlessly did what he was told. I knew I was made for more, so I killed myself. But not in the way you think. I killed the old version of myself, the one who was leading me nowhere. And that was the first step to becoming the best version of myself. My friend, we've all been conditioned to be miserable. From the day you were born, your mind has been filled with beliefs about who you are, what you're capable of, what you should do, who you must become, and how you should live. All of these beliefs shaped your identity. They basically shaped who you are as a human being. But there is a huge problem. 99% of these beliefs are extremely limiting. They keep you small, and they prevent you from achieving big things. They've turned you into just another small person for whom achieving great things feels impossible. And my friend, I'm here to change this. But first, you need to understand something that I understood a few years ago, and that literally, and I'm not joking, changed my life. So please pay very close attention because it might change yours. Once a human being believes something to be true about themselves, it starts defining them and it becomes a part of their identity. This is exactly when things starts getting dangerous for people. When it gets from beliefs to identity. Let me give you an example. Let's say your parents have kept telling you all your childhood that making money is hard. At that time, you were a naive kid who took everything your parents said as sacred truth. So you obviously started to believe it. Now, let's be clear. A belief in itself isn't dangerous. It only becomes a danger when you accept it deeply within yourself and you start subconsciously believing in it. When this happens, it means that the belief is now a part of you, a part of your identity. And boom, you become the person who thinks that making money is hard. So making money is hard for you. My friend, I don't think you realize the insanity of what I just explained. Please think about it for a second. All of that, it all started from the outside, from your parents repeating this narrative to you during your childhood. It's absolutely not something that you were born with. It's something you've acquired, and it became a part of your identity. Don't you realize how crazy that is? My friend, your identity is shaped by beliefs, and these beliefs come from the outside. It means that your identity is malleable, because if you change those beliefs, you'll change your identity. After realizing this, the first question I asked myself was, does this thing we call identity really exist? And what if we remove all those beliefs? All of them? What happens? This is where it gets extremely interesting. If your identity is shaped by beliefs, it means that your identity is just what your mind believes about you. It's crazy because it also applies to the most basic things you believe about yourself. Your name, your origin, your date of birth. They're just labels created by human beings. They come from the outside. They exist only in your mind. And more than that, they exist only because you choose to give them meaning and power and to actually identify with them. My friend, let me tell you something that could make you enter an existential crisis. In reality, if you dive deep and think about it, you'll realize that there is no such thing as identity. Because identity is just a creation of the mind. Your identity is just how you see yourself. It's all about what you believe you are. But wait, this has nothing to do with the topic of this video, but realizing this can actually lead you to a spiritual awakening. I mean, people who have awakened simply question everything about their identity and realize that identity doesn't exist except in your mind as a thought, which means that we are nothing else than a thought, and that the only thing that truly exists is consciousness. That's not why you are here. You're here to become the best version of yourself and make a lot of money. And you're in the right place. So what do we need to do now? We need to shift identity, because that's the only way to get new results, by adopting a new identity. If you don't change your identity to become a new person who acts differently, then you'll never act differently. And if you never act differently, then you'll never get different results. That's why we need to become a new person, by shifting identity. Shifting identity is an extremely difficult thing for most people, because it's literally about becoming someone else. And let's be honest, you can't reinvent yourself overnight unless you realize that your identity is just some random thoughts you believe to be true about yourself. And that when you stop giving meaning and power to these thoughts, your identity collapses. When you truly and deeply understand this, it's much easier to shift identity. See, when you stop identifying with your current thoughts about yourself, they no longer define you. And when your current thoughts no longer define you, then it means that you're no longer the same person. Congrats. You've killed your old identity. And now that your old self is dead, you can start designing your new self. But this time, on purpose. You now carefully choose the beliefs that your new self will be defined by. You now carefully choose the habits that your new self will follow. And even better, you now carefully choose your destiny. Because, as Naval said, build your character in a certain way, then your character becomes your destiny. My friend, it's time to collapse and to reinvent yourself. Every next level of your life will demand a different you. My friend, remember, your identity is not who you are. Your identity is who you believe you are. Which means that you can change your identity by changing your beliefs about yourself in your own mind. Now, why should we change the current beliefs about ourselves in our own minds? Because these current beliefs are extremely limiting, and we didn't choose them. Like, they come from our parents, teachers, friends, society, past experiences, and so on. And these beliefs shaped our identity. They shaped who we are, or should I say, who we believe we are. My friend, I just gave you all the keys you need to completely change your life. So let me sum it up for you. Okay, first, we are what we believe we are. Second, it means that if you change your beliefs about yourself, you change your identity. And third, when you change your identity, you change your life. Got it? Now, I know the third point is the one people have the most trouble understanding. Why will changing their identity change their life? Let me try to explain this as clearly as I can. My friend, do you agree with me when I say that no one lives the same life? That everyone's journey is different and that we all experience different things? Do you agree that no two people follow the exact same path with the exact same experiences? You do, right? Now, let me ask you something. Why is that? Why no two people follow the exact same path? The answer is simple. Because everyone is different. And when everyone is different, it means that everyone has different needs, wants, and desires. And that everyone makes different choices, decisions, and actions. In other words, everyone has a unique identity. And this identity was shaped by countless factors like the parents they had, the friends they met, the place where they grew up, the experiences they went through, like literally millions of factors combined to shape an identity that is one of a kind. And this unique identity is what shapes our journey, because our decisions, choices, and actions are a reflection of our identity. of who we are. I mean, imagine this. James, a young entrepreneur who identifies as an introvert, receives an invitation to speak at a business event in front of 300 people. However, because of his introverted nature, he declines the offer. And because he didn't step on stage, he never called the attention of Lucas, an entrepreneur sitting in the back, who could have become his business partner in a multi-billion-dollar company if only James had spoken that day. James' identity motivated his choice not to step on stage, and his choice shaped his destiny. Now, what if his beliefs about himself were different? What if he identified as an extroverted guy? What if he went on stage that day? I guess we'll never know. But I like to think that his entire life would have changed. My friend, your identity creates your destiny. And I've got good news for you. Your identity is malleable, which means that your destiny is also malleable. Change yourself and watch your life change before your eyes. Beliefs. It all starts by changing your beliefs. New beliefs mean new behaviors. New behaviors mean new experiences. New experiences mean new opportunities. New opportunities mean new results. And new results mean new life. That's it. Let me tell you something. Trying to change your behaviors without changing your beliefs is impossible. Change your beliefs first, and then your behaviors will follow. Believing that you can and that you will is much more important than learning how. If you learn the how, but you never become the person, you'll never do it. But if you become the person, but you don't know how, you'll figure it out. Here's the secret. Chase the wealthy state of mind, not wealth. Now, let's be clear. Becoming a new person isn't a 2-week journey. It takes time, and everything is going to happen slowly. So you won't really notice the shift. You're going to change slowly, and you're going to lose friends along the way, because the old version of yourself will die, and the people that the new version of yourself will be interested in won't be the same. You're also going to stop some things you liked doing back then, because you now have other priority. I mean, your outer appearance will remain the same, but inside, you'll literally be a new person. A new person with new friends, new interests, new passions, new tastes, new vision, new goals, new habits, etc. You basically become the best version of yourself. Exciting, isn't it? I guess, yes. But my friend, unfortunately, you'll realize that in reality, this isn't as exciting as it seems. I couldn't end this video without addressing something that most people don't want to hear. My friend, let's get to the point. I know this concept of identity shift, becoming someone new, someone better, is extremely exciting. It feels like you can finally live the life that you always wanted to live. The nice cars, the nice watches, the nice girls, the nice hotels. It feels like you'll finally get what you've dreamed of all your life, and that you'll reach levels of happiness that you've never reached before. But in reality, that's not the case. There's something important you need to understand here. The version of you who will experience these things that you dream of is very different from the version of you today. It's still you, just not the same version. It's an evolved version. And between you and this evolved version, there is a massive gap. And that gap is filled with countless small shifts in belief, each one shaping you into someone new. And after several years, once you've made the big shift, what once felt like a dream won't feel thrilling anymore. It will just feel normal, because you will have become the person for whom it's normal. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop dreaming. I'm just saying that achieving what you've always wanted to achieve won't magically fulfill you or make you happy. It won't. Just keep this in mind. By the way, that's exactly what Rick Rubin said on the Jay Shetty's podcast a few years ago.
You spend 20 years of your life working towards a goal that's going to solve everything. And then you finally achieve what you've been trying to do for 20 years, toiling away. I won't have any fun because I'm working for 20 years for this end. And then you get that end and nothing changes. That's when you get hopeless.
Thanks for watching, and see you next week.